Should the country had listened to George Washington's message about not having a political party? Here's the thing. Yes, they should have, but at the same time, political parties are not the biggest problem we have in America. The biggest problem we have in America in terms of parties is the way our voting system works. Alrighty. So, did you guys know that Marjorie Taylor Greene apparently had a Christian nationalist Bible? If you didn't know that, I guess we're just gonna have to talk about some normal stuff. Just normal stuff. Innocent stuff. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and get into the fan art section. This one is from Fluffer Bakura, Phone Doodle, turned Slime Suris into a Digimon. Ooh. Well, thank you very much for that one. The next one we have here is from Him-chan. Man, these JRPGs just make the most exaggerated weapon drops. That is a hammer that goes from this little chibi Suris all the way up. All the way up. That's a tall hammer. It is. It really is. As always, thank you all for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. That said, let's go ahead and get right into this madness, because there's certainly something to be said about this. Mark Smith, also, thank you for becoming a member for 2 months. I'm all for the death penalty, death by old age. I mean, that's what would happen. Then wouldn't it snap from the tension? No. You see, that hammer is both a solid and a fluid, as the hammer is made of slime like anything else. It is as solid of a fluid as it needs to be, or as solid of a material as it needs to be at point of impact, and as liquid as it needs to be at any other point in time. Said, how is Marjorie Taylor Greene still in office? Because idiots around me voted for her. Idiots around me voted for her. Like, that is the long and short of it. I wish it wasn't quite that simple, but it is quite that simple. But let's go ahead and get into this. This comes to us courtesy of Patriot Takes. White nationalist Nick Fuentes posted a text message from Marjorie Taylor Greene's former congressional intern, Milo Yiannopoulos, showing an unannounced, ghostwritten book for Marjorie Taylor Greene titled The Case for Christian Nationalism. Apparently, Marjorie will be selling a matching King James Version Bible as well. From Nick Fuentes, the Christian Nationalist Bible ghostwritten by a gay Jew. Yeah, that's about right. Proofread by the husband, Dr. John. Pay close attention to the background of that house. Sid would also like to send you a copy of this. I'm currently ghostwriting it for Congresswoman Green. Oh, wait, so it's Milo? So Milo is ghostwriting it. Why is he like this? Why is he like this? Can we go back to the timeline? Can we go back to the timeline where nobody knows who Milo is? Like, before he ever started getting on his I'm the gay white nationalist your parents warned you about grift? Can we go back to those days? Those were simpler times. So remember when Nick dated a Nazi cat boy? I remember that. Remember when Milo said that, you know, the guy he's married to is definitely not just a roommate? So did Milo get his input from MTG? Yeah, who knows? Who knows? But, you know, this is called The Case for Christian Nationalism. Jesus Christ. It should probably be noted, everybody, Christian nationalism is an actual fucking extremist movement. Here, let's go ahead and get ourselves up a little definition. So isn't Milo currently constantly on drugs? And we're going to be doing a video on Milo probably tomorrow over on Twitch as well. Let's see here. Christian nationalism is Christianity-affiliated religious nationalism. Christian nationalists primarily focus on internal politics, such as passing laws that reflect their view of Christianity and its role in political and social life. Separation of church and state. But okay, sure thing. Christian nationalists support the presence of Christian symbols, as well as state patronage for the display of religion, school prayer, the exhibition of nativity scenes, Christian crosses, Good Friday, all that other fun stuff. But when you look at the individual Christian nationalist movements, you get things like Karl Lueger's anti-Semitic Christian Social Party. You know, normal shit. Completely normal shit. You also get the German Christians of the Nazi Party, led by Ludwig Müller. You know, again, normal shit. Or you can go to the National Radical Camp that's in Poland, led by Boleslaw Piasecki. In Russia, Vladimir Putin is described as a global leader of the Christian nationalist and Christian right movements. You know, normal stuff that we definitely should be encouraging in the United States. I mean, hell, in the United States, there's the Christian Liberty Party and the American Readout Movement. Both of them are organized by members of the Constitution Party, but they're Christian nationalists that believe the U.S. is meant to be a Christian nation, and they want to take back the United States for God. How the fuck would you do that? Well, they believe that the National Renewal Project that they are pushing should be one that has America be a white, native-born, heterosexual nation, and thoroughly patriarchal. I'm against pretty much all of that. I'm okay with America being completely and totally mixed race. I would prefer Americans be whoever the fuck happens to be there, whether by birth or by coming here. And as far as America being heterosexual, that's just a matter of population statistics. I think whether you are heterosexual, homosexual, or ace, you should be treated completely equally. There is no, the nation is this. America should be your nation, irrespective of who you want to boink, or lack thereof. And then, of course, patriarchy. That one's fine. I'm kidding, it's not. It's not. Leadership should be 110% a thing that everybody of all genders partake in. It's funny, then, that the Christian nationalist movement, which would be very patriarchal, is going to have a case made for it by Marjorie Taylor Greene. Noted woman, I think. Just, the cringe factor is off the charts looking at this thing. Nick Fuentes also seems to be implying that Milo is was living, or working for Marjorie Taylor Greene's home in Rome, Georgia. The table rug appears to match the one in these photos. So I think I can see precisely where that photo was taken. The idea of stepping foot in Marjorie's house is repugnant to me. And then Patriot Takes goes, any thoughts on Marjorie Taylor Greene apparently releasing a book arguing for Christian nationalism, accompanied by a Christian nationalism-themed Bible? The Case for Christian Nationalism and the Christian Nationalist Bible. Guys, modern-day republicanism is all a grift. All of it. Every single bit of it. It is entirely about how much money you can make from conservative think tanks and from people who are willing to buy into your bullshit movement. That's what it is. If you happen to be a fan of modern-day Republicans, I'm sorry, you're falling for a grift. You're falling for a bunch of people who may or may not actually believe the things they say and are just trying to make money off of you, either by getting your vote so they can get into office so they can get a guaranteed paycheck for the rest of their lives, or alternatively, they would like to make money off of you by selling you things. How much Donald Trump merch have you bought? How much merch have you bought from other politicians? Don't you understand that that's not fucking normal? Politicians don't get fandoms. They shouldn't anyway. Politicians are servants. They should be anyway. They're supposed to be servants for you. They're supposed to do the things the country needs for its individual people who live there. Instead, modern-day conservatism largely seems to be about making money off of modern-day conservatives who are not making as much money, statistically speaking, and don't probably have the money to spend on their 13th MAGA hat, because I keep stealing them and burning them and flushing them down the toilet. So the idea of walking into a grocery store and seeing Marjorie Taylor Greene at the deli counter is a nightmare I have often. I'm so sorry, sirs. I must be so hard to not want to bring around a hefty brick at all times. So here's the thing. I don't believe that I will ever encounter Marjorie in Rome, Georgia. I don't believe that, because that would be me believing that Marjorie would go and do her own shopping. I am wholly convinced that Marjorie is the type of person, MTG is the type of person, to believe that that is so beneath them that they would get their husband, oh wait, she doesn't have one of those anymore, that they would get whoever they happen to, not or maybe sleeping with, who knows, to do for them. I don't see a world in which Marjorie does that herself. Speaking of the people that Marjorie Taylor Greene has had hired in the past. Never forget. Never forget. The role that MTG put Milo Yiannopoulos in definitely 100% made everybody remember the comments he's made in favor of pedophilia. You know. Let's see if they actually say the line. I have an intern that was assaulted by a priest as a young teen. He was gay, blah, 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 blah. Yiannopoulos, a British far-right commenter and former Breitbart news editor, faced harsh criticism after comments he made in 2017, where he called sex between older men and 13-year-old boys life-affirming. He also caused public outcry by speaking out against feminism, Black Lives Matter, and Islam. After his comments defending pedophilia emerged, Yiannopoulos came out as ex-gay. I wish they would actually, like, compare being gay to an addiction. Since then, he's promoted conversion therapy. This is all information I know. I want them to play the actual clip. He revived the practice to tell people pray the gay away. He first gained notoriety in Gamergate. Yup. And he has been banned from most social media platforms, as people who promote pedophilia should be. Should the country had listened to George Washington's message about not having a political party? Here's the thing. Yes, they should have, but at the same time, political parties are not the biggest problem we have in America. The biggest problem we have in America in terms of parties is the way our voting system works. The first past the vote system, the first past the post vote system that we have right now makes it basically a guarantee that even with a lot of political parties, we will always end up with just other places like Germany have a much more functional system where power is actually a little more evenly divided. Omega King, thank you for the $5. Thank you for streaming while I'm at work. It makes work for Amazon and dealing with bad drivers all the better. Well, I appreciate that. Billy enough says I've been watching for years, but Twitch stresses me out. That's fair. The parties are inevitable. Yeah, I don't think the issue is just parties existing. When I was a kid, I thought the issue was parties existing, but that was because all I did was take a single elections class, and, like, all I learned was Republicans and Democrats are different. That how do you not have political parties? It seems like a natural consequence of political funding. Yep, that's pretty much what you get. That's what you get. It's just the end result. It's the end result of having groups of people that want representation of some kind. Also, there's the code no ops. There's the code no ops. And there's the thing that says that we are sponsored by a thing. That's not the thing. That's the wrong one. It's this one right here. Unless it pastes the old one again. There we go. Why did it post twice? So thankfully, we have proportional representation, which means a small party can still get representation. Yeah. Whereas here, they have clinging to hopes and dreams that you'll get 5% of the vote for reasons. Definitely reasons. That said, though, that's all we got for that one. Marjorie Taylor Greene apparently having Milo write a book about Christian nationalism. Ghostwritten for her because, yeah, no, she can't read. She can't read. Let's be honest with each other. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you going to be picking up the Christian Nationalist Bible? Please give me some type of faith in humanity that that's not a thing you're going to be doing. And as always, everyone, insert end of video tagline here.